It's great to be here this morning to announce a really exciting project for Sydney and for New South Wales. We're announcing today that with the help of Scott Farquhar and the Atlassian team and all the stakeholders here who I'll introduce, we are establishing a new technology innovation hub right here between Central and Eveleigh. This will be the home of 10,000 new jobs into the future. It will be Australia's version of Silicon Valley. We'll make sure that every person around the world wants to work here. The best and brightest locally, but also the best and brightest around the world wanting to work here for those tech innovation jobs. I want to thank all of our stakeholders for working with us on this important project, because we know a digital community, an innovation community of new jobs doesn't just happen with one or two people. Attila here, the Vice Chancellor of UTS, is our host, and thank you for all the great work they're doing. In this prototype here, they've actually invited small and medium businesses from outside that don't even have anything to do with the university to come and use their 3D printers to really develop that sharing mentality, the notion that this is really genuinely a hub, a precinct where the jobs of the future will come from. I also want to thank Duncan from the University of Sydney for their collaboration, David Thodey from Jobs for New South Wales, Patricia Forsyth from Business Chamber. Also we have representatives from Fishburners and also Tech Sydney, two important technology precincts and technology companies really putting their intellectual property into this. This is a big win for Sydney and for New South Wales. Not only is it putting us on the map in terms of defining our own precinct, but I'm so proud of what Atlassian has achieved. Global recognition, an Aussie homegrown company run by really cool people like Scott, and really leading the way. And if we can have, and I know it's competition for Atlassian, but we want to see more Atlassians in the future. We want to see this collaboration. What Australians are great at doing, what people in Sydney are great at doing, is collaborating, where you have community, business, government working together, allowing people to be their best and really developing this precinct. So Central to Eveleigh will be dedicated to creating these innovation jobs, creating an innovation digital community where people can thrive, people can experiment and take their ideas to the world, but most importantly, attract those jobs in the future. We want to see people setting up their head offices here and expanding their footprint. And I'm really excited that this precinct in the middle of the Sydney CBD has now focused on this aim. And I want to thank all the stakeholders who are here today for working together on this. We are asking Atlassian to take the lead in terms of advising us on how to build the precinct and create the precinct. But the fact the government's dedicated this area, this prime real estate, to really creating those jobs is a huge win. And I want to thank Minister Blair, the Minister for Industry and his team also for really pushing this. I'll let Minister Blair make some comments and then have Scott say a few words and then you can ask questions to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Premier. This is an exciting announcement here today. We know that Sydney is the tech capital of Australia. 40% of startups are based here in Sydney. 40% of the R&D in this area is done here in Sydney. And now this hub is going to underpin and allow us to grow when it comes to our tech footprint right here in New South Wales. But the government isn't just doing this. We are turning to industry to help advise, and to have Atlassian and the expertise that they bring to the table ensures that this is going to be a successful hub. We know that success will breed success. We know that we need the talent coming through the system. We need to collaborate between those smaller businesses and those larger businesses like Atlassian, and that's what will happen in this hub. It is an environment, an ecosystem where the industry will grow, and the government is backing in this in all the way.
Scott, what do you want to say?
Yeah. I think it's quite eloquent as you guys
you'll be fine, don't worry.
When I started Atlassian with Mike 15 years ago, there was no technology precinct or technology industry in Australia. As computer science graduates, the best we could hope for was to work at a bank or a consultancy organisation, have to wear a suit to work, and Mike and I weren't up for that. So with a healthy dose of youthful naivety, we started out on our own. Fast forward to today, Sydney now has a thriving tech industry. We have venture capitalists like Airtree and Blackbird. We have great universities, we're sending one today. We have lots of startups. We have tech incubators, and we have co-working spaces. And what we're missing though, until today, is a home for technology in Sydney. And if you're a 16-year-old girl thinking about what you want to do for your career, if you want to become a politician, you can go up the road and go to Parliament House. If you want to become a lawyer, you can go to the Supreme Court. If she wants to become an actor, you can go down to the Sydney Theatre Company. But if she wanted to have a career in technology, the #1 industry in the world and the fastest growing, there was nowhere for her to go until today. So I'm really excited that we're establishing the tech precincts here in Sydney. I think that we have finally got a home for technology here in Sydney. And we know that all children, if they want to have a job and career in technology, can come to the tech precinct to experience it. I couldn't be more excited. I want to thank the Premier and everyone involved in getting this off the ground. I think today we sent a really strong signal to the world that Sydney is open for business, for technology, which is the largest industry on the planet. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott. Can I ask?
No, I think Jules going to say a few words and then I'll take some questions.
Just a couple of words. Again, on behalf of the university, it's very exciting to have everybody here. It's very exciting to have the Premier and Scott. Universities are essentially a place where people collaborate. You're standing in a place where we've deliberately built the most advanced prototyping space for 3D printers in Australia. But it's not just for the university, it's not for our academics, it's not for our students, it's for the community and industry around us. And that's what precincts are. Precincts are a place where innovation can rub off on each other. I often say innovation walks on two legs because it's about how people bump into each other, how you get ideas, how you spark the next generation of ideas with people talking to each other. And that's at the heart of a precinct. The precinct we have around us is one of the highest concentrations of startups in the country. It has the opportunity to be a precinct of truly global significance. And for me as a university, that's incredibly exciting. And the way universities, both of us at Sydney University, contribute to this is not just with our physical campuses, not just with our academics, but largely most important for our students, the next generation, as Scott was talking about, the 60-year-olds, attracting those to the university because they know that not only will they come to a place where they can get knowledge, generate knowledge, but they'll be in a place where they can work with industry and create the jobs that they want for the future. And that's a very exciting opportunity.
Scott, you mentioned that this is significant, obviously, for Sydney and the world stage. So we've obviously got Silicon Valley and as well as the space industry. How do you sort of envisage how this will be comparing to like Silicon Valley? I'm just trying to get a sense of how far behind we are with those.
If you think about technology, it's a global industry. It's the largest industry on the planet, and so Sydney in Australia has to have a part in that. And so in terms of where we're at today, it's kind of hard to say. Basically, if you look at where we've come and how far we've come in the last 15 years, we really had zero technology 15 years ago. Now we have startups and monitor safety culture, and they're all growing in Sydney. I run a conference every 2 years where we get people that whose technology companies of a certain size and scale together, and started off with a handful of people, and now I'm turning people away. So we've really grown a huge technology industry in Sydney. Obviously, we have a long way to go. We're number one in the world, but this is a huge step forward today.
You don't think the geographic location area is humble?
If you look at where growth in the world is coming from, it's largely coming from Asia. And so time zone-wise and geographically, we're really well placed for that. And also, if you look at Australia, I talked about Jeffrey Blaney wrote a book a long time ago, and he talked about effectively Australia was built on the sheep's back. For a long time, there was nothing that was light enough to export, and so we couldn't export timber, we couldn't export, we had no spice trade, and so it was only sheep. Effectively, when we could export wool, that put Australia on the map. So in Australia was built on the back of the sheep, on the sheep's back. Today, technology is weightless. You can export it around the world, and so geography becomes a lot less important than it was when you were shipping, cars overseas, where you put on the back of a truck or back on a ship. Today, we can export technology around the world instantly.
So just to clarify some of the details, so in terms of the precinct, in terms of physically, what we've
this is the whole point. What government's role is to enable everybody to develop the hub. And I've said to Scott, one of the first things we need to do is think of a cool name, similar to Silicon Valley, which is going to generate that level of excitement and interest. But what we're dedicating as a government is this precinct to being an innovation and tech hub. That means that takes precedence. We're going to take advice from all the stakeholders that are here about what we need to do, because people, if we want to attract the best talent from around the nation and around the world, people want to have a cool place to work, live, and also to entertain themselves. So the precinct will be a mix of all those things, but primarily it will be a creator of jobs, 10,000 new jobs, but also an incubator for those best ideas in the world. And to think that Sydney could be the home of the next breakthrough concept in technology is really exciting. And we've seen what ASEAN's achieved. Scott and Mark have been very modest, but they now employ over 1,000 people.
How much money is the government putting into it?
Well, we're looking at those opportunities there. We've already dedicated quite a few dollars in relation to supporting existing startups, to potentially foregoing land that we own to this initiative as well, and we're open to doing all those things because we want to create those jobs. We want to make sure Sydney is cemented as the next big thing, as the next Silicon Valley. And we have the potential to do that because we've got a really excited workforce, we've got smart people, enthusiastic people, hard-working people, we've got the ideas, the sky's the limit. And when you look at role models like Atlassian and others, it really gives people hope that we can become initially the Southern Hemisphere's key technology hub, and why not take on the world? And we have that potential because often new entrants, new innovation hubs can really make a big difference. And we're thinking about the future, not just the present. Well, obviously, what's key for us is the jobs. So 10,000 new jobs is really positive, generating potentially millions of dollars of revenue depending on how successful the startups are. And in terms of what we've dedicated to date, we've already dedicated millions and millions of dollars to startup communities. But in terms of this precinct, we now have identified the hub, the precinct, and now we're talking to all the stakeholders about what more we need to do. And if it means foregoing millions of dollars of property potentially, we are willing to do that. This is about us putting a stake in the ground and saying, this is the new hub. This is our Silicon Valley right here in the heart of Sydney. And I've often said that even though we have more than 40% of startups here in Sydney, I want that figure to go closer to 50%. That's our target, and we're getting there. It's about 43% now. And we're looking forward to it. So what this team will do now with the best brains in technology in Australia is give advice to the government about what the next stage are. We've obviously got Jobs for New South Wales, who also have a budget to support this. So all of our government agencies, all of our key people are working with the private sector to bring this to life as soon as possible. But what's really key today is a major signal from the government to say this precinct is a technology hub. That is the purpose of this precinct, not for any other purpose, and we're really excited to put Australia on the map by dedicating that today. And in the leadership of organisations like Atlassian, who are a shining light to the rest of the world about what Australians can do, the sky's the limit for us.
So if you were giving up the property, so to speak, like you said, that then a company like Atlassian or another tech company come in and build a building on that site, is that?
Yeah, well, what we need to look at is we know that Atlassian and others aren't backward in telling us what they need and what their requirements are into the future. We want to see that footprint increasing. So we want to see global brands. We also want to see increasing opportunities for employment, but we also want to see people coming off the street, or no matter where they live in New South Wales, to come up and have an opportunity to sit at a table here and get the experience. People may not have access to a 3D printer, but here they can come and do it for nothing. People may not have access to rubbing shoulders with people like Scott, but here they can come and do that. So this isn't just a place for existing brands, it's for emerging brands, it's for people who want to make a difference, people who want to work in technology. And people shouldn't feel constrained by existing structures. We want people to say the sky's the limit, I want to do things differently, and I know that if I turn up to this precinct, I'll have a chance to really make a difference.
So for those people looking for a job?
Oh, well, there'll be opportunities. There are opportunities already. We do have a hub in Wynyard, but it's a one-off. We want the entire precinct here to be one of collaboration. If you look in some of the rooms here, the university here has actually opened up their space to people coming in off the street, the small and medium-sized businesses who have nothing to do with the university, but they're offering their 3D printers and other forms of technology to support that innovation. Because what I love about Sydney and New South Wales is our collaborative efforts. Atlassian and other brands don't compete with each other, they actually support each other in building new technology and moving forward. And that spirit, that culture is really unique to us, and let's work on that and build on that. Having government, the private sector and the experts and the universities. And can I thank the universities because their generosity and them coming to the table has really made a difference as well to our plans in this precinct.
On this location, there are already technology businesses already set up in Korea, for example.
This location, and I'll let Scott and the others answer the question, but people want to work where it's cool. People want to be around other cool people and cool things. We want to attract. No, it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I take it away.
Here, though.
Yeah, go Scott. Save me, Scott. Save me.
There are plenty of places to work in Sydney, but the thing we're excited about for this tech precinct is the fact that it is close to all the major networks of transport. Like, so whether it's all the ones you're building at the moment or the ones that are existing today, the fact that everyone in Sydney can get to this tech precinct, it means that it's the place that people want to put jobs. Like it's great you put jobs elsewhere in Sydney, but it's harder for people to get there. And also, if you're bringing people from around the world, want to come work in a vibrant place, they want to work in downtown Sydney. So we're really, really excited by this versus any other place that it could be. The government's made the right choice by putting it here, right next to Central and North Transport.
Premier, a by-election date set for Wagga Wagga. How difficult is that going to be to hold on to, given what Darryl Maguire has done with the Liberal brand?
I'm not backward in saying it's going to be really difficult for us to hold. I don't shy away from that. I think it'll come down to every single vote, and we'll be working really hard to demonstrate to the community that we'll continue to do everything.
Should John Barrow have threatened to quit if that's before the candidate? I mean, what do you think of that sort of behaviour?
I don't want to validate that that's an accurate statement.
Can I ask Blair just about the Nats? It was reported today about you and the leader. There's a report about you and the leader arguing over the drought fund. Is there a decision to this to grow in the Nats?
The key for us in the Nats is to make sure that we deliver the outcomes for our constituents, and we know our farmers are doing it tough, and we make no apologies that every one of us has a view on the way that we should do these things, and I'm more than happy to take up the challenge to anyone that wants to question that we're not out there and working hard for our farmers, but the results speak for themselves. We're supporting our farmers, and that's what our package does.
Are you angry though that the Deputy Premier was undermining some of your efforts to strike a deal, a drought assistance deal with the government?
Look, we've been working on a drought package for many months, and that's been my focus. It's about making sure that our farmers get the support they need at this difficult time. And I've quite openly said that I'm happy to stand behind what the government has been doing and challenge anyone that wants to question or bring into politics when it comes to drought. I'm very proud of the package that we've delivered on behalf of our farmers, and I'm happy to justify that to anyone.
So last question, please, everyone. You don't feel undermined by your colleagues? In particular, John Barrow?
We're delivering for our farmers, and that's the key here. I'm happy to take anyone to task that wants to use drought for political purposes. But as far as I'm concerned, as Minister for Primary Industries, my job is to advocate in every forum that I get possible to fight for our farmers and to give them the support that they need, and that's what I've done.
Would you like to have seen the Nats have a
please.
candidate in Wagga? Would you like to have seen the Nats have a candidate in Wagga?
The decision to run in Wagga was a decision made by the head officers of the two parties, and the Liberal Party are running in Wagga, and I, along with the rest of my colleagues, will be supporting the Liberal Party candidate to make sure that Wagga retains a seat at the table of government, and we can continue to deliver the services for the people of Wagga that we have done since we came into government in 2011.
I'm sorry, I've got to get to
Greyhounds.
Sorry. Yeah.
Is it true that you weren't aware that of the idea to give $500,000 to the Greyhound industry? You knew about that?
Look, that's part of our government policy. That's always in question, and that's been rolled out as always a tax.
Sorry, justify
That's not taxpayer dollars. It's actually industry dollars. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Sorry, we said last question. We are building record infrastructure, the likes of which our state's never seen. So we're in a good position, but we've had to play catch up. After 16 years of Labor, nothing was happening. We've come to government, and now we're building the housing and also the infrastructure needed to support our growing population. Thanks, everybody.